wanted to welcome you on behalf of the Board of the Directors. My name is JOHANNA McWILLIAMS, and I'm president of the Chamber. We're the Alvin Manvel Area Chamber of Commerce, and it's our honor to conduct this series of candidate forums. I want to say thank you for attending this evening, and this is also available live stream. It will be available on social media afterwards, so share this link with your friends and family and voters. Before we begin, I'd ask you to kindly silence your cell phones. There's some refreshments in the back. You're welcome to help yourself to those. Also, restrooms are down this hallway to your left, just past that pink sign. I also wanted to thank Alvin ISD for hosting us this evening. This is an incredible opportunity to share with our voters and our community about the candidates here in the room. Now, on behalf of our board, I'd like to welcome State Representative Ed Thompson from District 29.
I can't pray. I'm gonna share a couple of words real quickly. I had this on my desk, and I wanted to share this with the candidates tonight because I think this really speaks to me. The former chaplain of the U.S. Senate, Richard Halverson, wrote, "You go nowhere by accident. Wherever you go, God is sending you. Wherever you are, God has put you there. God has a purpose for you being there. Christ who indwells you has something he wants to do through where you are. Believe this and go in his grace and love and power." And I think that's these folks that are up here tonight that are running for these offices, I don't believe it's by accident. I believe that God touched their heart and asked them to do it. And so we're here tonight to hear them and to support them and to make good decisions about who we want to support. So let's pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you so much for this evening. I thank you for each and every individual that's represented in this room tonight, and I thank you for these candidates. Father, I know the time and the effort and everything that they have to go through in order to be here tonight. And Father, I know what their families go through, and I just ask that you'll allow them to have peace and to have understanding about that, and to be patient, Father, to listen to you as they move along through this process. And Father, I just ask that you'll bless them and that you'll watch over them, and that you'll give them words of wisdom, and that you'll allow them to have discernment as they speak tonight. And Father, I want to take just a moment to lift up those families that have gone through the floods, the recent floods here. I know there are people that are struggling, and people that are hurting, and people that have lost everything that they have possession-wise. But Father, the one thing they haven't lost, and that's you. You're close to them, and you've got your hand on them. And Father, I know they don't maybe understand the position they're in right now, but I hope and pray that you'll show them as they move through this difficult time. Father, we thank you for this evening. I thank you for each and every person that's represented, and I just pray that everything that's said here tonight will be pleasing to you. And we ask all these things in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. Do you want me to do the pledges? Okay.
So backed by popular demand this evening is our facilitator and moderator, Donnie Marek. Donnie Marek is serving his third year on our board of directors, and he's our community division leader. Under his direction, we put together the voter guide that a lot of you have in your hands. It's a great resource, so if you haven't picked that up and read it, please be sure to do so. So let's welcome Donnie Marek.
Yes, y'all be careful walking back here. I just tripped twice. All right, Johanna, thank you for the introduction. Mr. Thompson, thank you for your words. And yes, let's hold the victims of the floods in our hearts and prayers. It's a tough time, I'm sure. Well, welcome, candidates. It's good to see y'all again, and welcome. I'm excited to hear y'all's opinions, and I know it's a big commitment to commit and serve in this role, and I want to thank you from, I'm sure, everybody here. We appreciate your willingness to serve. I have a few rules to discuss tonight. Candidates, you've been provided with a copy of the rules, so I believe you're all set. If you have any questions throughout the forum, let me know. Audience, questions will be gathered throughout the evening, so if you have not completed one yet, You can do that throughout, and just bring it up to Johanna. Each candidate will be given 1 minute to answer the questions. Hi, Ms. Keene. So you want to, she holds up the yellow, that's a 30-second warning. And when she holds up the red, you have that's a 5-second warning. And I'll stop you quickly after that. There's no questions directed to one particular candidate, and all candidates will be asked to answer the same question. Some questions are for both groups, some just for them, and some just for them. So we'll get started quickly with the introductions, the opening statements, and that is a 2-minute opening statement. So good luck to you all, and we'll get started now. Thank you. Hello, there we go. Ms. Dobello.
Good evening. My name is Maureen Delbello, and I'm running for Manvel City Council, Position 4. I've lived in Manvel for 23 years. I love this community. I want a city that my children can grow up in and be proud of, and that is why I've chosen to run for City Council. Manvel is in the middle of a growth stage. We must maintain good, stable growth for our city and work together to do what's best for the citizens. Incoming council members should have knowledge about the city, like the comprehensive plan, the drainage study, ordinances, and the city charter. I feel like I'm strong in this area with my previous history. I've served on council as well as a current board member on MEDC. I've also served on the Zoning Board of Adjustments, the TERS 3 Board, the Alvin ISD Citizens Advisory Committee, and the ACC Advisory Committee. Manvel offers excellent schools, churches, country living, and several subdivision areas. All these areas need representation that I feel I can offer. I'd like to hear from the citizens. I feel they need to speak up, voice their concerns on how they want our city to grow and look. We need to work together with our smaller businesses and help them expand, for those businesses have supported Manvel through the years, and they have stayed with us through all the growing stages. Ordinances need to be adjusted for larger acre lots and smaller acre lots. We are at the time that one ordinance does not fit all of our situations. We must adjust to our changing area. Our small business owners should not be penalized because they cannot adhere to our large development standards, yet we cannot expect our larger developers to carry all the burden. Together, I feel we can work towards making Manvel a well-diversified city that everyone is happy to live in. I believe in integrity, honesty, and experience. I will be the leader who will listen to all your concerns. I take pride in our city. I hope to be able to serve the citizens of Manvel as a council member.
Sorry to cut you off. Mrs. Sifuentes.
Hello, my name is Melissa Sifuentes. I will be on your ballot for Manvel City Council Place 4. I would first like to thank the Alvin Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event, for this opportunity as well. Thank you to the citizens who have taken your time out this evening to be here with us. Thank you. Thank you for the businesses and the community members who have supported me during my campaign, and thank you to my amazing family for your love and support you have given me throughout each day. I've been a resident of Manvel for 9 years. I have a degree in allied health and have served the healthcare field for 12 years. I provide goal-oriented physical therapy, treating a wide range of life-changing diagnosis for patients of all ages. My profession requires critical thinking and successful results in order to maintain the best quality of life for the people I treat. I volunteer with Alvin School District as a vice president for the parent-teacher organization and assisted with creating that group. I'm a proud Christian woman with good faith values and volunteer with church ministries. I am also an active volunteer with charitable organizations, some of which include Habitat for Humanity, the Star of Hope Family Emergency Shelter, and shipments of care packages to our U.S. military overseas. I decided to run for Manvel City Council. I love this city and believe that it requires dedicated citizens to be a voice for the community. I'm concerned with current challenges our city faces, but also excited about the future of Manvel and what it will continue to offer its citizens. Thank you.
Mr. Shuffler.
Good evening. My name is Lou Shuffler, and I am running for City Council, Position 6. I am honored that I have served this city for the last 7 years. I've served 2 years on the PDZ and the last 5 years on City Council, and I'm very proud of our accomplishments. I'm running for a third term because many of our plans that we've worked for the last 5 years are now being implemented. I strive for financial responsibility, which includes yearly balanced budget, close maintenance of all expenses, which has resulted in an increasing cash reserve and a AA rating, bond rating. Just as an example of the benefits of that, we took out a loan, the city, to buy some property, and because of that rating, we've saved over $200,000 in the life of the loan just on interest because of our fiscal responsibility that we have. We have water and sewer along 6. We have revised capital improvement plans, thoroughfare plans, parks plans, and adopted a parks board. When the last time I ran, I promised to work on programs to promote safety for our citizens. I'm proud to say we now have a Citizens Emergency Response Team and a point of distribution. And this is made up of Manvel residents trained to respond and assist if a major event should occur in our city, such as a hurricane, train derailment, or public crisis. I also suggested to the police that they start a program for our training for our citizens. And they just, earlier this month, they had the first class of the Citizens Police Academy. And this is to strengthen the citizens' relations with the police department to learn and understand what the police does during the course of their days. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hudson.
Good evening, citizens. My name is Jerome Hudson. I'm a candidate for Manvel City Council, position number 6, in the upcoming election on May 7th. I've been a property owner in Manvel for about 16 years, homeowner for about 6 years. I have a passion for commitment to advocating for the residents as we address relevant and important community issues. My desire is to see continued growth, economic development, and prosperity within the city's boundaries with extra attention in maintaining the open space lifestyle, which I feel is a unique identity for our current and future citizens. I've served in various volunteer positions throughout the city of Houston. Through my work, I have developed a passion for service, a passion for others, and want to represent our community and to see it grow. Myself and my wife, Gloria, we have a family that includes 4 adult children, 9 grandchildren. Also, I have served in the United States Army, Vietnam veteran. As your city council member, I will champion policies that will allow our residents to raise families here in a safe and prosperous community and provide an environment where responsible businesses can thrive and grow. I will bring my experience to city council to help create a vision for Manvel that includes some of the things that I mentioned before, the economic development, strategies, and capital improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. And now our ACC board candidates. We're gonna begin with Mr. Marvel tonight.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just going down the line.
Tricked you, I'm sorry.
Good evening. I'm Cam Marvel. I am an Alvin resident, 42. I have a beautiful wife, Jennifer, and 2 boys. Robert's 19 off at A&M Galveston, and Cameron is 11. He's a student at Alvin ISD. I was a graduate of Alvin Community College, where I went on to get my bachelor's in child and youth development. I've served as an educator in Alvin ISD for the past 20 years in different capacities. I'm actually employed by an organization called Communities and Schools. We're a large nonprofit that serves at-risk youth. I currently am the Senior Project Director, where I manage large grants for the U.S. Department of Education and Texas Education Agency. Wanted to say that I'm running for office tonight or for this election, because my family's benefited so much. My wife and I got together. We were an emerging family. We started both of our college careers at ACC. No one in my family had gone to college before me. My wife got her LVN. I got my associate's degree, and we've worked our ways up from there. Now, my 19-year-old is so blessed that he actually he's 19, but he's a senior at Texas A&M Galveston. He got almost 2 years of dual credit through ACC. Both of my children also got their start at the Alvin Community College Lab School. Now, tonight you're going to hear a lot of this. I agree with what Monica said. I agree with what Andy said. I agree with what Patty said. We had a forum last week, and it should have been the greatest think tank for Alvin Community College. There were wonderful ideas out there. There is not one person at this tables right here that's not qualified or passionate about serving ACC. The only differing view you're going to hear tonight is the bond. There's a bond out there. It's the big elephant in the room, but we all know it's here. I strongly support the bond. I believe in meeting the needs of all the members of the ACC taxing zone. I believe in conjoining all of us, not talking about west and east, but making sure that all the needs are met. I want to provide a strong foundation. I believe in balance. I believe in fiscal responsibility while we're balancing the needs of the current students and the future students of Alvin Community College. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. HERTENBERGER.
Good evening. I see a lot of familiar faces out there. That's because I've been around for a long time. I graduated from Alvin High School in 1969, graduated from Alvin Junior College in 1971, married my best friend that I met there almost 42 years ago. Went on to Sam Houston. I got my master's degree from U of H Clear Lake in higher education administration. Then I got my doctorate from Nova Southeastern in higher education leadership. I spent 32 years in the classroom, 19 years as an administrator. I was the Dean of Continuing Education Workforce Development for 19 years. I understand the importance of workforce training. I started a lot of the programs ACC currently has, and I know that we need to expand what we are offering. And I know the importance of a technical training facility, which is one of the important elements in the bond. I spent 13 years roughly as the Dean of the Pearland campus, gave me the opportunity to work with people like Ed. We were on the chamber together, work with the Pearland Economic Development Corporation, and I really got a chance to get to know that community. So I understand the internal workings of Alvin Community College. That gives me a unique advantage. I also understand the communities that we serve, and I also know the challenges that both the college and the communities are faced with. We are growing, and with growth comes growing pains. But there's got to be a way that we can come together and meet those challenges. Thank you.
Mr. Taggart.
Good evening. My name is Andy Tackard, and I'm a candidate for the Alvin Community College Board of Regents, Position 8. I was born also and raised in the Alvin area and lived here most all of my life. And I want to back up just a moment and thank the Chamber for hosting this forum and thank all you taxpayers for coming out tonight to ask questions. I attended ACC and graduated with an associate's degree in criminal justice in May of 1976 and started my law enforcement career then. I am married, have 4 children and 9 grandchildren, and as a member of the South Park Baptist Church. I served as the ACC Chief of Police and retired after 30 years of service in January 2014. I'm running for the board because of 2 main reasons. First is that the college has been near and dear to my heart. Someone in my family has either worked for or been a student there since 1949 when it opened its doors. Secondly, I started helping my dad with information related to the bond, and after reviewing the 2014 and 2016 budget, I became concerned due to these facts. The tax rate had increased in the 2015 budget, 8 new administrative positions were added, 8 full-time faculty positions were cut, and a $2.2 million increase to the budget, while student enrollment had decreased slightly. If I were to be elected, I would want to make sure ACC continues to provide top-quality instruction to ensure student success. These are two of the greatest strengths ACC has demonstrated over the years and should remain its primary focus. As a former employee, I have a good understanding of the budget, how the college operates, and what its purpose and mission are supposed to be. I believe with my past experience and knowledge, I will be able to make sound decisions that would benefit the college and the taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Morgan.
Good evening. My name is Monica Morgan, and I do want to thank the Alvin Manvel Chamber for having the event and Alvin ISD for having this event in Manvel High School. And I've been in this particular space hundreds of times because my daughter graduated from Manvel High School in 2013. She's a junior at New York University, and she was part of this theater department. And we live in the Pearland area, Shadow Creek Ranch, which actually the growth on the west side of the district is what caused the need for this Manvel High School. We quickly outgrew Manvel High School, and this year we will be opening Shadow Creek High School in the Shadow Creek Southern Trails area. And so that's impressive growth over a very short period of time. To tell you a little bit more about myself, I was born and raised in Alvin. My parents are here. They've lived in Alvin since 1962. And I am a graduate of Alvin High School, 1987. I went on to the University of Notre Dame. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Business Administration and Management in 1991. I came back to Texas and went to South Texas College of Law, and I've been practicing law for the last 12 years. I own a law firm in Pearland, Rodriguez and Morgan Law Offices. I primarily practice in the areas of employment, contracts, business entity formations, and basically provide assistance to the general public. I am currently a director of the Brazoria County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and tomorrow I will be going to Washington, D.C. to actually accept a grant from Wells Fargo to help our businesses in the Brazoria County area. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of growth coming. There's a lot of opportunity. I would really appreciate the opportunity to serve the community and help ACC deliver to everyone across the taxing district. We have a great opportunity to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. STUKSA.
Good evening. My name is Roger STUKSA. I've been in Alvin since 1956. My wife and I have been married 54 years, have 19 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. So I've been around this area, and I have a lot of family here. I'm running for a Board of Regents position 9 because I feel like that I need to contribute my time. I've just spent 8 years as city councilman in the city of Alvin, and I feel like there's some need for some guidance in the college area. I am concerned about the bond issue of $88 million. I do support vocational training. I support full-time teachers. You know, when I heard that they have part-time teachers, do you know what first thing came to mind? That's like substitute teachers. I never liked substitute teachers when I was in high school, and I don't think I'd like to have them when I'm in college. There is a lot of money that we're talking about here, 25 years to pay it off. You sit down and figure out what you're going to pay at over $10,000 in 25 years each in every household. That's a lot of money when you really put it down, and you don't think that they're going to go for 25 years without asking for more money. So I'm here to try to provide the guidance that I think the college needs to still grow and be functional, have full-time teachers, and have a good reputation. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Mr. ERCUMS.
All right. I'm KARLIS ERCUMS. I'm a resident of Alvin, Texas. I've lived here all my life. I have 4 kids. 2 are graduates in Texas A&M. 1 is at Texas A&M, and 1 is a junior in high school. I have a company here that I started 35 years ago while I was a student at ACC. I did end up graduating from ACC, and I've had that company for 35 years. It employs hundreds of people. It has offices all over the state, and our corporate offices are here in Alvin. It's an energy and a municipal services firm with many wonderful employees that contribute a lot to this community. I have been a regent for 12 years, position 9. I'm running for re-election. I love the college. It's been a big part of my life. All of my kids have benefited from either going there or through dual credit courses in the high school. I think that's one of the wonderful things that we offer. I 100% support the bond. I believe it's something that we need to do. I believe that the growth of the west side and the taxes that are being paid on the west side, I believe that people in this part of our district deserve a facility that's accessible to them, that they can use and that they can attend, and just think it's right and it's fair and it's something that needs to be done. I believe that the college campus in Alvin needs some definite improvements, and this is one thing the bond will do. In the last 10 years, our enrollment is up 33.6%. Every dollar that goes into ACC, $5.50 comes back into the community. And our tax rate since 2002 has dropped 20%. So all these things that are being said about the raising of the tax rate, yeah, sure, it's going to go up, but it's going to go up in a minimum amount compared to what we're going to benefit from it. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Let's get started with the questions. And the first question is for Manvel City Council. It says, what is your vision for parks and recreation within the city? And Ms. Delbello, we're going to alternate, so we're going to start with Ms. SIFUENTES. I'm sorry. We'll be next, okay?
A vibrant local economy with parks and recreation improves not only the quality of life, but it can also strengthen a community. This is an area which we remain stagnant. It is imperative that we meet the needs of our citizens now and in the future while improving our natural surroundings, increasing our property values, and strengthening our tax base to ensure Manvel stays strong and desirable. Thank you.
It is evident that Manvel's in need of some good parks. Currently, we have the Croy Park, which really could be outstanding if we invest some time and effort into it. We also have the possibility of where Almost Heaven used to be, and if Sedona is going to work with the city on possibly doing a park there, as well as where the former Eddie's Country Ballroom is. I know the city is working on that. We have an excellent parks board that's currently in place. City Council just appointed that last year to work diligently on getting parks for our children. We need parks for our children. I agree completely. I have 4 kids, and it would be great to have a community area and a park where our kids could go play, or play soccer, baseball, or whatever it could be. It would be great to have parks, and I support the parks.
Thank you. Mr. Hudson? And a reminder that the questions are 1-minute answers.
I totally support more parks. We have at our disposal the new board that's being directed by some very diligent and understanding and outdoorish type of individuals. Open space lifestyle, I feel that it's a unique thing here in the community. And we need to continue that. I love the lifestyle. That was one of the reasons I bought the property that I have now. So I'm for new parks, and when the developers come in, they're adding to the parks. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Shuffler?
I also believe that having parks is extremely important for the growth and the development of our community. And some of the things that you've already heard, that when we sit down and talk with the subdivisions for development, That's something we want. We want parks, and we want so much area within those subdivisions. We currently have Croy Park. We're in negotiations with Almost Heaven to try to maybe develop the water and the land around there for a city park. We're talking with the area known in town here as Eddie's Ballroom. That property there can possibly become a city park in a short time. We have a great new parks board, which is great, and we are actually working on a master parks plan for development going forward in the future. So it is extremely important. Thank you.
The second question is directed to the ACC board candidates. It's a long one. At the last forum, all of the Board of Regent candidates spoke in favor of building a new technical building at the Alvin campus and updating the aging infrastructure in the 7 oldest buildings on the campus. How do each of the candidates for the ACC Board of Regents propose to pay for the new technical buildings and infrastructure upgrades? Please be specific. And we will start with you, Mr. ERCUMS.
How do we propose to pay?
Yes, sir.
I propose to pay for it through the issuance of a bond. Thank you.
Mr. STUKSA.
Bonds are fine. They help growth. We don't need 88 million to do that. We need about 20 million. Something reasonable. We need to take a Dick Ramsey approach. You know, baby steps. If they want to build a new campus, just buy the property. It takes one step at a time. Let's deal with what we have now, get it improved, get the vocational up, get the improvements we need there, and then look to the future. Thank you.
Mrs. Morgan.
So I believe the upgrades for the technical building and the other needed improvements and enhancements at the main campus can be funded through the bond. That is something that has been studied. I was part of the long-range facility planning committee meeting. Those are the recommendations made to the board. The board approved bringing the bond to the community at an 8-to-1 vote. The community needs to be the ones to decide that we bring these things to the campus right now. They are needed, they've been needed. There's been some reluctance or hesitation to bring it out to the voters, but now is the time. To wait on these things, it's only gonna get more expensive. There's only gonna be more of a need, and we need to do it right now. The passing of the bond is critical and essential to the future growth of ACC and the success for all the students across the district.
Mr. Taggart.
I think they may have left off 3 words in that question. If the bond fails, what would we do? I'm with KARLIS. If it passes, we fund it from the bond. If it fails, I think we need to regroup and relook at this like what we did back in 2001 and 2002. We had 2 bonds fail because we asked for what we wanted, not what we truly needed. And one of the things that we truly need is this vocational technical building and a few of the infrastructure upgrades. Thank you.
Dr. HERTENBERGER.
I attended a conference a couple of years ago. In fact, I believe it was the very first conference that Dr. Albrecht attended as well. It was at Brazosport College, and we were all there to hear about all the growth, all these companies that are expanding, and how they were going to need a trained workforce, and how one entity, Brazosport College alone, could not train all the people that were going to be needed. And the CEOs stood up there and looked at us and said, "Tell us what you need. Whatever, we will give it to you." So I think we need to tap into our business community and ask for some support. Also, growing brings our values up and also brings more money into the college. Let's look at how we budget that extra income. Thank you.
I agree with KARLIS through the issuance of a bond. If the bond is not passed, somebody brought up a good point about wants and needs. Now, here's my thought. I'm looking at a demographic report that Alvin ISD contracted with Templeton Demographics, and it shows a huge population growth over the next 5 to 10 years. 20 years, it's astronomical, doubling the size of the student base around this area. If Alvin Community College today can meet the needs of those students, then we wouldn't be talking about a bond. 8 out of 9 board members, including business owners, who tend to suffer the most. When those taxes are paid, when they have issuance of a bond, a 34% increase in their business's taxes is going to be a lot greater than what I pay as a citizen. I do believe we went through the Long-Range Planning Facilities Committee. We all determined that the needs were there. It was the right time, and that's the way to go.
Thank you. The next question is for the Manvel City Council candidates. What are your thoughts on police pay increases? We'll start with you, Mr. Shuffler.
The city is currently reviewing all of the pay for all of our employees, because we know how important it is to maintain the good employees that we have. So we'll be presenting to council soon the issue of raises for all of our city employees, police included. So that's extremely important. If you want to maintain good quality people, you got to pay them the proper amount of money. You're going to be competitive. You don't want them walking down the street to another town to do the same job, basic job, getting more money. So that is currently under review by council. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hudson.
When you have an area that's growing like it is now, first thing you have to do is deal with security. I believe total insecurity in terms of getting a raises, I think it should be going along appropriate with the pay grade. And I think that we have a great police force right now. So I don't see any problem with if we can stretch it in the budget, however we may do it, a pay raise is good for me.
Thank you. Ms. Del Bello.
I think the city needs to work on a pay scale for all the employees, not just the police department, but the police department is excellent in everything they do and everything that they can take care of just with the manpower that they do have. City council needs to put that in place. That is one definite thing that I would like to work on. But pay raises also, or pay scales need to be based on employee evaluation as well. Each employee should be evaluated every year by the city manager or council or however it's deemed necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. SIFUENTES.
First, I would like to start off by thanking the Manvel Police Department, the Volunteer Fire Department, the Volunteer EMS, and our Public Works Departments. They do an awesome job here in our city. I would make sure that as our city grows, that each of these departments have the adequate amount of staff on hand to accommodate our growing population. I want to make sure that our Manvel police are competitively compensated, and each and all of the departments have all the proper tools and training necessary to do their jobs in order to keep our city safe and secure. These are first responders, and they put their lives on the lines for our citizens daily and deserve competitive compensation. Thank you.
Thank you all. Next question is for the ACC board candidates. How do you think ACC's nursing program could capitalize on the medical facilities in the Pearland area? And we will begin with Mr. Taggart.
Would you repeat the question?
Yes, sir. How do you think ACC's nursing program could capitalize on the medical facilities in the Pearland area?
Well, I know they've opened several new hospitals up on the 288 corridor. One of the issues that the nursing program does face is getting clinical positions. We are a 2-year community college and only offer a RN. Many of the hospitals are achieving to be magna hospitals, so all they want to accept students are the BSN-bound students, and that's where we have a problem trying to increase our program. But I think we should maybe talk to those hospitals, see if there's a possibility that we can get more clinicals so that we can add more nursing students to our program, because that's what's hindered us in the past few years. Thank you.
Mrs. Morgan.
So ACC has a great opportunity as Pearland grows, and it does have a small medical center feel to that west side of the district with Memorial Hermann, HCA. Kelsey Siebold has headquartered its administrative offices there, and there are great employment opportunities for people to actually commute just short of getting into Houston, which would be fantastic. But ACC actually would have the opportunity to expand those programs, expand the clinicals, and I think Memorial Hermann has stepped up to speak at some of the recent ACC Board of Regents board meetings and actually expressed an interest in partnering with ACC to actually supplement their employment. They need thousands of people every year, and I think it would be a great opportunity.
Thank you. Mr. Marvel. Sorry, y'all.
I don't think there's any way we can stand up and be ready to go.
No.
I'll be quicker.
I'm blessed to have a nurse for a wife, and her and her friends have had conversations all the time about expanding programs for Alvin Community College. I believe that if we had a West End presence out there, and we also considered, as the state legislature is considering right now, the opportunities to increase bachelor level programs. One of the challenges Mr. TACQUARD mentioned was that is correct, that the clinicals is the preventing of the growth of the program. So if we had BSN programs, bring in an upper university to offer those services so we could get that BSN program going at Alvin Community College, that would be the strongest strategy to be able to meet the needs of those folks and expand the program.
Dr. HERTENBERGER.
Okay, I agree with Cam. I think one of the things we have to do, since it looks like that's the direction that the hospitals are going, they're wanting people with bachelor's degrees. I think it's now time for us, ACC, to take a really strong look at, let's see if we can add that component to what we offer. Also ask if there's something unique that maybe other colleges aren't offering in their nursing program that we might be able to incorporate into ours. Thank you.
Mr. STUKSA.
Well, I have to admit I'm not a lot familiar with the nursing program, but I can say that I've heard that it has a terrific reputation. And it's growing all the time, and the need for nurses certainly is out there. And I think if we work with the hospitals to see what their needs are and try to expand, that's one program that we really shine at the college, and I think it's one that needs to be expanded and looked at so that it provides the needs for the growing hospitals that are coming up around our area. Thank you.
Mr. ERCUMS.
Yes, we do need to expand our clinicals, and a bachelor program would do us good. But quite frankly, our program is pretty full already. We have a lot more students that want to be on our program than are able to be in it, and we really can't do much about expanding it until we expand our facilities. And quite frankly, that facility not only needs to be expanded there in Alvin, but we need to have a west side facility built that we can expand and build upon, especially with so many people whose career and professional development is in the health centered jobs out here on this side of town, and we just need to have that over here, period. I mean, that's what we need to do.
Thank you all. Keep moving, and this next question is for both groups, but we will start with the we'll start with Manvel. Question is, how many meetings have you attended in the last year? And what will your level of involvement be if you are not elected? We'll start with you, Ms. Del Bello.
Honestly, it's hard to come up with a figure of how many meetings I've attended for the past year without taking a few minutes to write them down. I was on council. I went off in 2015, and I actually became a member of the Manvel Economic Development Committee, so I attend those meetings on a regular basis, as well as I try to attend some of the city council meetings and the other meetings. I love this town, and I love this community, so I want to stay as active as I can in it, either being on council or on a different board. Thank you.
Ms. Sifuentes.
I attend public city meetings and council meetings, as well as committee meetings. I've been to multiple of them each year since I've lived here in Manvel for 9 years. I feel that each board, each committee, each city council members, it's everything. It's all of great importance and vital to our citizens' well-being here in Manvel. If elected, I want to make sure that the right people are appointed on these committees and will assure you that I will work with these committees for the greater good of Manvel.
Mr. Shuffler.
As a member currently of the City Council, I've missed very few meetings in the last 5 years. And if any reason I'm not reelected, I'm sure there'll be something I could be doing for the city and be of value to them in the future.
Mr. Hudson.
I've been on the PD&Z board for the last 3 years. Might have missed a few. I also attend city council meetings, find out what direction the city is going to, try to put my input into it. Love the city. Just have like I said, I have a passion for it. This is what I like to do. If I probably continue being on the PD&Z or whatever board that I'm needed on and called upon. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're all clear. We're going to start with Mr. ERCUMS and go straight down the line this time. How many meetings have you attended in the last year, and what will your level of involvement be if you are not elected?
I don't really know what my attendance record is, but I think I've attended just about all the meetings and a lot of the strategic planning meetings and other things that we have to attend as board members. You know, no matter what, whether I'm re-elected or not, I plan on being a part of the community and volunteering and doing what I need to do just to help further our community, further our college, and just better our community.
Well, I've been on the city council of Alvin for 8 years. I don't think I've missed over 3 meetings in 8 years that I can think of. I think it's partly because I've been so lucky to be as healthy as I am. If I don't get elected, there's all kind of things that you can do to contribute to the city, contribute your time. I can think of a lot of them. I don't want to go into some of them. Don't want to mention even at this time, but I have some ideas. But you know, I'm hopeful that I can achieve and be successful in my request to be on the Board of Regents. Thank you.
So I've attended the ACC Board of Regents meetings, the Long Range Facility Planning Committee meetings. I've served on the Alvin ISD Citizens Advisory Committee meeting. I go to Pearland City Council meetings whenever there are issues that require public discussion. I actually went to the Manvel City Council meeting, and that was really interesting just a couple weeks ago. All I can tell you is they want a grocery store. So that's what I was hearing. So So, you know, I try to go and make sure that I know what's going on, but I will serve anytime I'm called upon. And I think my husband Charles is in the audience and wishes I would say no a little more often. But you know what? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people that, because they're raising their family and working and going to school and doing all these things, maybe don't have the time to go and attend these meetings and have their voices heard. I am more than willing to do that for them. So I'll continue to be just as involved and engaged as I am now, whether elected or not.
Well, after serving 30 years there at the college, I wanted a little break. I wanted to go see my grandkids and travel a little bit, and that's what I did for the first year or so. Once my dad got actively, he was on that long-range planning facility committee, and he started asking me lots of questions. That's when I became concerned, and that's when I started going to board meetings. The first one being in January, February, and March. I plan on going in April. And if I don't get elected, yes, I think as a concerned citizen, I want some answers to questions as why and what's happening at the college, and I would plan on attending as many meetings as possible so that I'd be well informed. Thank you.
Well, over the last 19 years, I've attended every board meeting as Dean of Continuing Education and Pearland Center. If I'm not elected, I will continue to find ways I can contribute to the college. I have a lot to give back to that college, and I will continue to look for ways that I can contribute to also to the communities that we serve. Cam and I already started talking about some ways that we can do some things together to help some of these kids who've never been to college and who are afraid. So I will continue to look for ways to contribute. Thank you.
So for the past 10 years, I've served on 3 separate committees for Alvin Community College. I've attended all the meetings that I've been, barring an episode of a passing family member earlier this school year. I've attended every board meeting since January for the Alvin Community College Board of Directors. For the past 22 years, I've served in multiple volunteer capacities on nonprofit boards. I've coached year-round, although I've retired 5 times. I never took a break. Committed community service member. I want to make sure that regardless of if I'm elected or not, that I'm still involved in Alvin Community College. I'm very, very passionate about the Long Range Planning Facilities Committee, and my longest commitment to Alvin Community College has been the Department of Education Advisory Board, because I'm really passionate about creating new educators through ACC.
Thank you all. Keep moving. The next question is for the Manvel City Council candidates. What is your vision for the city in 1 year, 5 years, and in 10 years? And we will start with Mr. Hudson.
My vision for the city is continued growth, bringing in new businesses, the small businesses, give them a helping hand, understand their problems, and work things out. It shouldn't be any time that someone comes to you on city council and you can't work a problem out. And it should be a give and take type of situation to get things going. Home developers should be able to work with them. We always talk about growth. Thing is, we have to, like I said, give and take. It has to be a balance there for big corporations coming in and spending their money. We want to have what we want, not all the time, but we will continue to grow. And I think that that's what we need to do, just continue growing.
Shuffler.
I would say within the next year, we have some businesses that are being developed right now, such as the Stripes gas station that's right down the block here. Within the next year, we're hoping that we will finally break ground for our new and first grocery store in this town. So that's something we're working on. I know we have other businesses that are proposing coming here within the relatively short period of time. We are talking to an animal hospital that has plans to possibly come here, a children's event center, and more long-term HCS, which took over the plant down on 6th, has committed over the next 8 to 10 years to put in $80 million or so into development into that one area there. So you see growth is coming to Manvel.
Thank you for that question. I think economic growth for the small and large businesses, that's something definitely I'd like to see within the next year. We definitely need a grocery store. I think that's a great thing for our city. Even I'd like to see the Manvel Town Center come into play as well. I'd also like to see a city park, like Almost Heaven. It's proposed to us, and hopefully that goes through. I think that's going to bring our community more together. It will unite, all of Manvel. It'll also be good for our children, families, even our senior citizens. Something else that I would like to see go into play is the equestrian trail, trail to make our city a more unique place to come visit. I think that that'll be a wonderful thing to bring into the city and make sure that we keep our unique rural feel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I agree with everything all the other three opponents have said. They all have excellent ideas. If there's a grocery store within a year, I know I spent a fortune at Dollar General just running there for miscellaneous items per year. They're going to miss me. But our vision for long-term, for 5, 10 years, I want to know what the citizens want. I want to know what their vision are. I know that growth is coming. We've been saying it for years, but we need to control some of it, and we need to take our time to determine what's right for the city. Do we want 288 and Highway 6 to look at like 518 and that traffic jam? Personally, I don't, but I know we do need some good businesses in here, and we need to support our local businesses as well.
Thank you all. The next question is directed towards the ACC candidates. We will start with Mr. Marvel and work our way down this way this time. What are 2 ways you would increase student enrollment?
Well, I've been blessed since I've decided to run the last few months, to go out to several ACC events and talk to several student groups, and talk to my niece who's a student in the child care program, to the Student Government Association president, and the one thing they said that will keep them there, keep them bonded, is an increase in full-time faculty staff. Now, I know we've got to balance the fiscal needs, and that's the first thing we have to look at and say, is it feasible? We've got some great part-time staff who do a great service to us and make it cost-effective. Can we engage that staff? If we have a high morale at that campus, high morale is going to be balanced with fiscal accountability there. It's going to make that staff stay engaged. Secondly, I'd like to see everyone on campus take ownership of enrollment there, from the folks who work in maintenance to the president. Everyone get out there and say, I love my job, I love this campus. Get behind the vision and the mission of that campus, and as an employee of a nonprofit, that's why we succeed and thrive, is because of that passion. Thank you.
Well, of course, I'm going to say I think we need to expand our workforce training programs. Not everyone needs a degree, but everybody needs to learn a skill so they can get a good paying job. I really think that would help. I also would like to see us utilize the campus more in the evening, and especially on the weekends. We've tried it once or twice, but I think there are ways that we can do it that might work. Maybe offering a discount on tuition for students who come at night on weekends. I know they have people who can take care of their children. A lot of people are working full-time, and they need someone to take care of the children so they can go to school. So scheduling on weekends just might work. Thank you.
What Patty just stated about weekends and also afternoon classes, yes, we do need to offer those again, try that again, and with a lowered tuition rate possibly. The second thing, it hit me, this question was asked last forum, and it hit me about 3 o'clock in the morning. To do what our administration did back in 2002, we hit an all-time enrollment of 3,700 students. And they made the faculty staff go out to the high schools and start interacting with these kids. That was part of it. If you didn't and your particular curriculum got low, you had fear of losing your job. So they did. They went out, and by 2012, 10 years later, we hit an all-time high of 5,636 students. So yes, getting the faculty involved and going out recruiting, that's a very viable option. Thank you.
Increasing student enrollment will be critical, and I think that passing the bond, upgrading and enhancing the facilities will attract students. They want to learn in an environment that fits the jobs that are being offered today. And there are so many things that can be done by improving and enhancing the campus, expanding and making it more accessible to the west side. There are communities that are underserved right now. They are Rocheron, Iowa Colony, Manvel, the west side of Pearland. They need to have access. Most of the students that attend ACC work. They work full-time, and they need flexibility, and they need it to be close and accessible. That will increase the popularity of ACC, and so I think that's one of the ways.
Increasing the student is very important. We have to have things that they want to do, and vocational is one of them. But, you know, I have to say that the student population on campus does not necessarily represent the student enrollment. I have a grandson who's going to ACC right now. He sits in his bedroom and goes to school. And that's the future. It's not going, the only thing you're going to see on campus is trades or things where they have to be there. But we have to have the things they need, get the students excited at the high schools, bring to them what the possibilities are and what they can do in the future to enhance their futures. Thank you.
Culinary arts, medical training, workforce training, technical training, all of those things require facilities. We need to improve our facilities. We need to build the facilities that this bond is going to allow us to do, not only in Alvin on the west side. That'll help increase, that will increase enrollment. The other thing is we really need to have a much stronger presence in all the high schools to help those kids understand all the many benefits of dual credits that are offered in the schools to help them get that jump start on college. Not only are they able to, you know, we've had, I can remember when we had one kid graduate with a dual credit degree, and now, I mean, I'm sure it's over 100 by now with all the schools involved. I mean, it's incredible. So those are the ways that I see us increasing enrollment. Thank you.
Thank you all. We'll move along to the City Council. How do you plan to address or manage differences of opinion within the council? And we'll start with Ms. SIFUENTES.
Please repeat the question.
Yes, ma'am. How do you plan to address or manage differences of opinion within the council?
Well, I feel that working together as a team with the council, we can all accomplish one goal. We can accomplish what the citizens of Manvel need, what they want. I feel that, you know, listening to the citizens first and foremost is what is going to get us further in our direction with things, and what is best for the city. I feel that talking things out, discussing what's on the agenda, making sure that everything that we are doing is in the best interest of the citizens of Manvel. It's important to do that. It's important to talk to each other and make sure that we are all reaching the common goal, which is what is best for the city of Manvel. Thank you.
Ms. Delbello.
I think having a committee or a board or council that's made up of a difference of opinions is sometimes a good thing. You want to hear everybody's opinion, you don't want a board just to consistently agree on every issue. And being on council, you have a wide variety of opinions, that's for sure, but when it comes to the end of the day, you all work together and strive for the best of this community and for the citizens.
Mr. Shuffler.
Council certainly has 7 different personalities when we meet every other week. And we've had our share of differences on a pretty regular basis. You get 7 different minds. But, you know, when you sit down and you work as a team, you look at the facts and you evaluate, and as long as you come up with what's best for our city, we usually come down to a vote, and then we usually get it right. And what's good about it, we only require 4 out of the 7, so sometimes, you know, you can't sway someone from their opinion, which is fine, but as long as the majority makes that decision and it's the best for the city, I think that's a job well done.
Yes, personalities, that's true. I'm quite sure they're on the board. Looking at it from my approach, I think you need that unique type of understanding. We have different people coming from different backgrounds. We have the open acreage type of living, which is great. I stay there. I've lived in a subdivision type of situation. I know there's different problems that exist in each area, and we have to address those. Take a look at the children, the seniors. It's never going to be a total consensus, but I think that it can be done. It must be done if we're going to grow, and if we have to take a proactive approach to things sometime, and look at it and do what we have to do to make Manvel a better place to live.
Thank you. All right, this next question is for the ACC candidates, and it's a long one, so try to follow me here. The Templeton Demographic Survey showed a strong correlation between population growth and attendance of AISD schools. What studies have been conducted regarding the correlation between population growth on the west side and attendance at a community college? Would you like me to repeat it? Okay, here we go. 2 parts. The Templeton Demographic Survey showed a strong correlation between population growth and attendance of Alvin ISD schools. What studies have been conducted regarding the correlation between population growth on the west side and attendance at a community college? Mr. ERCUMS.
Well, I don't know if we've actually done a specific attendance correlation, but I know that what we've done is that we've looked at the demographic studies that the AISD has done and used that to help us develop some of our plan, our strategic plan and our facility plan. One of the things that I always looked at on the board was why go out and pay for a study that's already been done? Why do we need to spend that money twice? So, I mean, I just believe that as the population grows, especially with the demographics we have and the level of education we have in our district, that the needs that we're looking at addressing through this bond issue are definitely things that need to be taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. STUKSA.
Well, yes, the population is growing, and it's really great what's happening in Manvel and in Alvin area, and in the Alvin Independent School District. But it's only 9 miles. How many of your children go to A&M and drive back and forth every weekend and come home so you can wash their clothes? Anyway, As I mentioned before, a lot of the students are doing their classes over the computer. Some of them are driving anywhere. They're sitting at home going to school. So it'll all work out, but as the population increases, yes, there's going to be a need someday for the additional college and even high schools. Thank you.
Mrs. Morgan.
So I didn't know we were going to have this question, but I do have some information from Templeton, and there's a lot of growth information that people need to be aware of, whether you have those facts or not. Brazoria County had an 18% year-over-year rise in new home permits. Meridiana, Savannah Lakes, and Duke elementary zones are roughly half of all the new home activity. Meridiana, Savannah Lakes, and Duke, which is the west side of this district, are over half of all of those new permits. Meridiana is going to open an elementary this year with 678 students, and in the second year be at capacity. So the growth is coming. Right now they have 23,000 students, and in 10 years they'll have 35,000 students. We need to serve that population.
I was not sure of any studies that were done. I'd heard that the college had done one themselves. I wasn't aware Templeton had done one. I do know we are going to have growth and development out there. We have. It has exploded over the last 20 years. I think when the Grand Parkway opens, when that new section's built, we're going to see a whole new explosion, possibly bigger than the west side. So who do we prepare for? Do we prepare for this, the expected growth in population here, or the expected growth in population down, or go somewhere in between? I think that's something that we really ought to consider in the future for our students. Thank you.
I'm not aware of any study. I'm sure there was a study. We're always doing studies. All I do know is that as long as I can remember, the majority of the students who come to ACC are out-of-district students. They are driving to ACC and paying out-of-district tuition for a reason. We've got to be doing something right. So their communities, I'm sure, are growing too, but they drive to ACC to take classes from us. Thank you.
I hope my reference to the Templeton study and having it in my hand as a nice prop really didn't trigger someone to do that response, because I don't have an answer to that question. I do know during the Long-Range Planning Facility Committee, we were presented some data that showed us evidence that there are 2,500 students that ACC loses to HCC and San Jac. I believe it was about 600 to HCC and 1,900 to San Jacinto College. So if the question you wanted answered, talk to ACC leadership. They'll give you the actual study. I can't reference a specific name. If the question was, are we losing students out there? The answer would be absolutely yes, we are losing students out there. So again, that's just another case from my perspective for the bond. Thank you.
All right, Manvel. Next question is for you. Did you support the city using TERS in 380 agreements? 3,800 or 380 agreements. And we'll start with Mr. Hudson.
Would you repeat that again?
Did you support the city using TERS in 380 agreements?
That's I wasn't there on city council to do that, but I did not. After I heard things about it, I did not support it. That's it.
Mr. Shuffler.
I am totally for reviewing the possibility of using this as a way of financing our growth. Just last meeting, we had a presentation by one of the attorneys about the possibility of using that to build about 1,400 acres right over here, right off of 6, where we'll pool the different developers together. The advantage of using that is it doesn't cost to the city. The developers pay for that infrastructure and the build-outs, and then in return, we reimburse them, providing that these businesses succeed and are built, and then we'll pay them back. That way, there's no cost to the city to build these kind of developments. So, yes, I am totally open for that kind of agreement. Thank you.
I absolutely support the 380 agreements. I think that it is a great way to bring economic growth to our city, and I just believe that it's a win-win situation for the city and the citizens. Thank you.
TERRACE agreements and 380 agreements help smaller cities like Manvel help develop the infrastructure and land that hasn't been developed in our city. I agree with these if they're done in the proper way. You need time limits, you need to have all your facts, the figures in place before you can put the TERS or the 380 in place. I am on the TERS 3 board for Meridiana, and that seems to be going well.
Thank you all. Next question is for ACC. How have you supported the ACC Foundation, and how will you continue these efforts if elected? We'll start with Dr. HERTENBERGER. Yes, ma'am. How have you supported the ACC Foundation, and how will you continue those efforts if elected?
Well, when I was working for the college, I worked with we had a grant writer who helped write grants, and I believe we wrote some grants for the ACC Foundation. We worked with you, Wendy. I haven't done anything since then, but understanding the work that the foundation is doing and how significant it is, I would think I would try and get very involved with what they're doing. Perhaps look for more grants and look for more opportunities that would be fundamentally sound for the foundation. Thank you.
I can honestly say that I haven't done a lot with the Alvin Community College Foundation, barring attendance of a couple events and making some appearances in some of the things they've done.
Mr. Taggart.
I, like Cam, have not had any real exposure to the foundation. I mean, I know they're there, and I provided security at all the events that they have out there at the college, but I haven't had any other type of participation other than that. Thank you.
Mrs. Morgan.
Not having direct working relationship with ACC Foundation, I know they do fantastic work. There are other nonprofit organizations that actually help support educational opportunities at ACC. One of them is the Northern Brazoria County Education Alliance. They work with Pearland ISD and Turner High School to provide scholarships to students so that they can access ACC's trade programs. And that was something that I was part of the development and formation of in 2007, and we're very proud of that work. The foundation supports educational opportunities. It's something that needs to be funded, and hopefully we can grow business networking opportunities to help provide grants in that to the foundation.
Mr. STUKSA.
When I got on first got on the city council, there's a lot of things I didn't know. And this is another thing, I'm running for the Board of Regents for the college. I'm not familiar with the foundation, but I can tell you that I don't hesitate to take the opportunity to learn things I need to learn as I go on. Thank you.
Well, if anybody's attended one of those gala events, you know that my purpose up there is I get up there and they call me an auctioneer, but really I'm there to roast people to the point where they get me to shut up by buying stuff. So that's kind of one of my things, and I've enjoyed the gala. It's great every year. I also tend to donate some pretty good Texan tickets every year to the club, and and some years those go really good, and some years they don't go very good. So it just kind of depends on what's going on there. And as far as how the money is spent, I really choose to, since I'm a board member, I choose to not be involved in that, and I would rather keep an arm's length from those kind of transactions. Thank you.
A few more questions. We'll go back to the city council. What is your position on bringing city water to the residents within the city limits currently on private wells? And we'll begin with Ms. Sifuentes.
Please repeat the question.
What is your position on bringing city water to the residents within the city limits currently on private wells?
I feel that if the citizens on city wells want to be connected with city utilities, I feel that that should be fine. I feel that if it's in the area and they want it, then go ahead and supply that for them. If they are not wanting that, then I don't feel that they should have it. If they are on well water and they are fine with that, allow them to stay on well water. If they want city utilities and city water, go ahead and supply that to them. Thank you.
Ms. Del Bello.
The city has an ever-growing infrastructure problem. We've always have. At this time, there is really no way feasible and financially that we could supply water and sewer to a lot of our residents that live in the outlying areas. That might be something that they could look at in the future as our city grows, but right now, I don't think that's really possible for us to do. Thank you.
Mr. Shuffler.
I think that is extremely important when you start developing your city and your infrastructure. What we have in place now, we do have plans for expanding the water lines in different areas of the cities. What we provide for the citizens is an opportunity to tap in that line, and they can avoid a pretty large fee if they tap in it, because there's an expense to building that. And that way we can all share in that expense. So if they tap into that water city line, they will avoid being charged for that fee. So I think that's kind of important to know.
I think that the outlining areas, it would be good to have them, but I'm quite sure it's going to be quite expensive. It should be not mandatory. It should be, if you would like to do it, it's good. I mean, there's a tapping fee, what I understand. And I think that's open for debate in terms of some of your, the citizens live in the outlining areas. So that should be up to them individually.
Thank you. This will be the ACC's last question. With the high schools, surrounding high schools, keeping up with today's technology, what are your plans to ensure that ACC keeps up with this as well? And we will go backwards starting with Cam, I believe.
Well, to catch up with the high schools, we'll need to pass this bond and get that infrastructure up to date where it is. As the demands are, and I look around campus when I walk around campus and see, and I've had my cell phone out, make sure wireless access for everyone is strong and up to date. The fact that we're wanting more data quickly to come down to our phones and electronic devices is necessary. Now, there are fees in place already, and this is something that if you're talking about balance, this is where if somebody's going to access a service, they're going to have to pay for the service, and there's student technology fees out there right now. So if that's what we need to do, we need to increase those fees. I know, roll that over to the students who are actually going to take advantage of it as time goes on to keep infrastructure strong and good.
Well, this is one element of the bond that I definitely agree with. We definitely need to upgrade our technology in our facilities. I think that there, at least for now, might be another way to do it. As our tax base is growing again, the college is bringing in more money. We need to take a look at maybe how that revenue is being budgeted. Again, partnering with business and industry who have said, tell us what you want, tell us what you need. We're willing to help you. And I don't think we've really tapped that. We've not taken advantage of that. They were serious, and it matters not where they are located. They're willing to go to anyone and help give you money for equipment and facilities if you will train their workers. Thank you.
I think ACC has done a fairly good job of keeping up with technology in the classrooms. We do have Wi-Fi. I've had it for a number of years there for students to be able to tap into that. After the hurricane, we did a lot of upgrades with some of the insurance money when it came to technology, but I know there's more to come. And that is one area of the bond that I would support is the technology upgrades for the students, because I know what the students like nowadays. My oldest daughter is 30, is a college student there at ACC, and I see what she does, what she uses, and yes, upgrades would be nice. Thank you.
I do think that there was a recognized need whenever we were doing the long-range facility planning committee work and the recommendations made to the board, and I think that they took those recommendations seriously by including them in the bond and understanding that technology is critical, and it changes very, very quickly. By the time someone's in 9th grade and graduates in high school, the technology has totally changed. They've all got new phones and everything's like upgrading, right? And so it's going to continue to be that way. It will continue to be really, really fast, and when you're in higher ed, you have to lead. You can't lag. You have to stay ahead of it. And so these needs are critical. They're right now. And so the bond will help, but it will take a focused effort to stay competitive and to stay and keep offering things that are new and relevant for workforce training going forward.
Technology is amazing. I remember seeing my first television. And now we dial phones, and now we have little phones we carry in our pockets. The kids today are so far ahead. If I want to get something fixed, I have to ask my grandkids to fix it for me. So technology is advancing tremendously at a great, great rate. And it's important for any college, no matter big or small, to keep up with technology and try to stay ahead of what the kids' knowledge levels are when they start there. Now one of my grandsons at 14 built his own computer. I don't think I could even know where to start. So it's amazing what these kids know today, and the college has to stay ahead of their knowledge. That's a real challenge. Thank you.
Unfortunately, we can't pick and choose on the bond. We have to pass it in order to become relevant, and in order to stay relevant, we're going to need to continue spending money because technology is constantly changing. What I've found very perplexing is to see how far ahead our high schools have become and how much our college has struggled to stay relevant technology-wise. And we as citizens in this community need to invest in our college. Kids should be taking a step up in facilities and in technology and in learning when they go to a college, not staying level or taking a step down. And we really, really need to do this. We need to put money into our college because that is the training they're going to get to better their lives, better their income, and be better citizens to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Last question for the city council, and we're going to start with Ms. Del Bello and work our way that way. How do you feel about ACC potentially bringing a campus to the west side of their district in the Manvel area?
Personally, I think it would be wonderful if ACC can bring a campus to this area. The growth is here, it's coming, we need to stay ahead of it. And I've had 2 children that attend ACC. They do a wonderful job, the staff is great, and I feel that this area will need one.
This is something that I had to weigh out the pros and cons with as the election is approaching. As the west side of the district is growing in population, with more families and children and high school students now graduating with college courses already under their belt, it can only be a good thing to have a college very near to obtain a degree. A college providing a 2-year well-paying degrees is a plus in our area, which would also mean more educated citizens and perhaps even spark that growth that Manvel needs. I am a strong advocate for education and feel that education is a key to success. So if a college on the west side of the district will increase the chances of college graduates, I will invest my money into that. Thank you.
The reputation at this school is incredible. It is great education and a great facility. And I think having one on the west side of Manvel would be an excellent idea. The only thing I know we got to be careful of, we got to make sure we have the proper, we keep talking about infrastructure. We got to make sure that we have the right roads and streets involved to support that kind of traffic and people moving in and out of that community. So, but I think it's a wonderful idea, and I totally support it.
I do support the Alvin Community College on the west side. Education is the key. The more education you have, the more we can compete, our children can compete in the up-and-coming new millennium. That the funding, a lot of times you have to invest in it. Invest in our future. I think that'll be a good thing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. The question part is over. Now we can move on to the closing statements. And remember, you have 2 minutes to give your closing statements. And we're going to flip the order, and we're going to begin with Mr. ERCUMS. When you approach the podium, your 2 minutes will begin.
How much time do I have?
You have 1. No, 2.
Hey, like I just alluded to earlier, you know, it's Alvin Community College's time. It's time for us to take a step up, to take a step out, and become a stronger, better college in our community. The education we provide, the opportunities we provide, the things that we can do for this community, not only for our kids, but for us. Hey, my wife loves going in there to the pottery studio and getting her fingers all dirty and making pottery, and I mean, it's those kind of things that we need to be proud of and we need to invest in. Sure, you know, higher taxes, more money affects us all, affects me greatly, but I fully support it. I just believe that it's something our community needs. I also just want people to know that 12 years on the board, our terms are 6 years. And let me tell you, those first 6 years, there's a lot of learning going on. And the second 6 years, I don't think I hit my stride until about the 10th year. And I feel like now I'm finally hitting my stride. I really understand what's going on. And I'm ready. I'm ready for the next 6 years. And it's really, for me, it's one of the most exciting times that we have for the college is what can be happening in these next few years. We can't put it off any longer. We got to do something now. Costs are rising. if we don't take advantage of some of the land opportunities we have now in the district, we are going to lose our ability to put a footprint over here on this side of the district, period. This has to happen. We've got to have this happen. We need to move forward. If we don't, we're going to miss the boat. It's going to be expensive, and it's going to be hard to accomplish, period. That's what I've got to say. Thanks.
Mr. Stuksa.
First, I'd like to ask for your vote. I think I could do the job. But you know, when it comes to the college, Alvin Community College, the campus there's not a lot of people there. They're not even open on Fridays. You know, it's just like any other business. You don't start a grocery store down the street when the one you got don't have any people in it. The attendance at the college actually is up from last year, but down from 3 years ago. So we need to get the attendance up. We need to get the facilities that we need in Alvin with the vocational and get things rolling there, and then make the step we need to go to a new campus. I don't have a problem with buying land, doing it one step at a time, and considering the needs and looking at the situation. But I think right now we're jumping the gun, and I think we need to take a real close look at how we're spending the money. We got $88 million. I think the college still owes $16 million from the last bond. That means they're going to be in debt over $100 million. That's sort of scary. Thank you.
Well, I'm not going to live in fear of the future because I'm excited about the future, and I'm excited about the future for ACC, and the opportunity is now. This is a fantastic time to be in this community, to see the growth, to see the development, and to have a chance to help assemble just a fantastic future for the students and the community. What I want to say is Alvin Community College didn't just become great. It's been great. But it needs to have an opportunity to have greater visibility and exposure to more people. If we open a campus on the west side, it won't just draw more people from within the district. It will draw people from outside the district. It will draw people from Fort Bend County, from Harris County, from people that live in Lake Jackson and Angleton, and people that maybe don't want to go to Brazosport. Maybe they commute this way and they'll come back by and want to take classes on their way home or something like that. There's so much opportunity that we're missing, and we need to take advantage of the opportunity now, not just because we want to have the opportunity to build a building and see something grow, but it's going to be there for future generations. It's going to be there for people like my brothers and sisters who went to ACC to find what they wanted to do with their life. All of them went to ACC at one time or another. Some of them got degrees, some of them didn't. My sister got a process technology certificate. She's been working at Chevron for 20 years. Fantastic career, raised her family, beautiful children, and you know, ACC contributes in that way. It contributes to the hardworking people of this community. It gives them the opportunity to have a job that makes a difference. They give back. An ACC degree, an associate's degree, can increase someone's income by $400,000 over their lifetime. We need to take advantage of that opportunity right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I'd like to thank the Chamber for hosting this forum tonight and for the taxpayers that came out and are concerned. I never dreamed of running for a public office. I was a public servant for almost 39 years as a law enforcement officer. But after, as I said earlier, I helped my dad with information about ACC, I became concerned about where we were headed. You've heard a great deal of information tonight and probably read some of the newspaper articles about the bond. I do want you to know that the information that I presented tonight came from a true source, or two true sources, the 2015-16 budget and the 2013-14 budget. So my information is accurate and true. At the bond forum in Alvin, I heard the administration say that the tax rate had gone down. Yes, it had. It started back in 2002 and went down till 2012. It went up slightly in 13 and 14. But in 2015, as you recall earlier, the tax rate went up. And so did it really go down under this administration, and where are we heading? They also said that student enrollment was up by 34%. Carlos even made that fact. But that was, again, as I said earlier in one of the questions, that was due to a previous administration's efforts that brought it from 3,700 to 5,636 students. So what I challenge you to do is that if you want the true facts, you go research them yourself and then make an informed decision and vote your conviction at that point. I know that when I worked for the college for the 30 years, everything we did revolved around student success and serving those students. If I were elected, that would be my first priority, to ensure that continued well into the future. I would appreciate your support on May 7th. Thank you.
Again, I think currently 52% of our students are driving from wherever they live and coming to ACC to pay more money out of district tuition. So even with our facilities and technology needing to be enhanced, so we're doing something right there. Do I think we need to put money into these enhancements? Absolutely. Do I think we need to buy land? Absolutely. They're not making any more of it. So we really need to, and we should have done it years ago. We had money in a bond back in 2005 to actually purchase land, and we didn't do it. So yes, we need to do that. But I would like to interject another idea. As a taxpayer, and I know ACC has done this in the past, what if we were to buy land, but what if we were to start offering college classes at this beautiful new high school that's opening up in Shadow Creek? That's just, it would give us time to find out what people are wanting, if they're truly interested in coming and taking college classes. And I think that's just a more wise way of moving forward. Sure, we may be building a campus one of these days, but we're paying for that already, and it opens next September. Why not try that? It has worked before. I just know that, yes, we need to change, we need to catch up to date, and we can do it. We need to be fiscally responsible, though, and I think that is something that maybe we need to look at. My experience with the college, I think, would make me an asset not only to the college, but to the board as well. Thank you.
You started your night out hearing from me. You're gonna finish your night out hearing from me. My favorite leader of all times is Ronald Reagan, and he said the best social program is a job. You want a job? Get some training, get some education. We've got tremendous programs out there. I think from what I heard tonight, they made a great case for expansion. 52%, and that's a number we can validate, everyone here agrees with that, of our folks come from out of district. What do they think is going to happen if we have a campus right down the road? 52% then. The HCC campus closed down, right down the street down there. Was the HCC campus at the standard of the quality of Alvin Community College? Obviously not. I don't think anyone in this room would agree to that. It's time. It's time. We've got taxpayers out there paying 20 cents per 100 right now in this area and not getting services. They'll say, yes, they're getting services, they've got access, but I'll tell you this, driving 45 minutes versus driving 10, I know in my life, time is much more valuable. And when I say that, I said, if we plant a seed out here, I can't imagine what it's going to look like. And they're right. If we go for, this is a long-term plan, long-term facilities plan, it's not going to be the end. Will there be expansion? My belief is the campus will be so successful out there, so successful, that there will be needs for expansions out there. My platform is simple. I think we all agree. We all love the students of ACC. We love the staff. We think it's great. I believe let's open it up. Let's take what we've got, this wonderful model, and expand it out there. We've got wonderful vocational programs. We've got wonderful dual credit programs. We have wonderful degree programs. We have wonderful technical programs. And you know what? We've even got wonderful enrichment and cultural programs out there. So be it beyond us. Somebody planted the seed years ago to get this college, and we've all been benefits of that. Let's do it again for the next generations. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you, ACC. Now we'll move on to Manvel, and we'll start with Melissa Cifuentes.
Thank you again for coming out this evening and for your questions. If elected, I plan to work hard for what our city deserves and commit the energy and time necessary to meet the goals of our future and deliver results. I will always put the citizens of Manvel first by utilizing my leadership qualities, energy, and interpersonal skills. I will continue to go out in the community as I have during my campaign to listen to your feedback and the needs in our community, as that would make me a better councilwoman if elected. The citizens of Manvel are such great people and a joy talking with. If elected, as a new face on the council, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill my duty for the citizens and will perform with leadership, thoughtfulness, and persistence. I hope to have earned your vote this evening and will look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Alvin Manvel Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event and AISD for allowing us the use of this facility. And I'd also like to thank each and every one of you for attending and listening to our opinions. I see several new faces as well as familiar faces. I hope each and every one of you can talk to your neighbors, your family, friends, and get them out to vote, because in this area, especially Manvel, it is hard to get a good turnout for an election. I wish the best of luck to everyone that is running for a position, whether it be City Council or ACC Board. It takes a very special person to dedicate their time to help the community and the citizens of the area, because we all know that it is not easy sometimes, but in the end, knowing that you have made a good difference makes it all worth it. I personally would like to thank each of you. Once again, I appreciate everyone for coming out. I would truly appreciate it if you would let me be your voice on Manvel City Council. I appreciate your consideration for voting for me, and thank you.
Mr. Hudson.
I'd like to thank everyone here for coming out. I see some familiar faces. That makes everything a little more comfortable when you're up here. When I was out talking to neighbors, if it's here in the subdivisions and everything, it's like they would ask me, what will I bring to City Council? My answer was, it's like since 2010, there has been a 40% increase in our population. I will bring a can-do, spirit-filled, positive attitude that's open to new ideas here to Manvel City Council. We have to be able to work with some of the small business owners, some of the larger business owners that's coming in. We have to be able to work with some of the developers. Regardless of what they're doing, they're spending a lot of money, and we want our city to be open to new people coming in. Each separate issue, the subdivisions, main part of Manvel, we have different problems, and we have to be able to solve them. It's a hard problem, but we can do it. That's what I'll bring to City Council, a can-do attitude. We can do this. We can make our city very proud and prosperous and listen to all the citizens. They have little small problems like the trash and everything, but we have to deal with those. And sometimes you have to be able to think outside of the box to get things done. And that's what I'll bring to City Council. And I thank you again for allowing me to get up here, and hopefully I'll be able to become your City Council person. Thank you.
everybody for coming out on an evening tonight. Thank you. If I'm reelected, I will continue to work to represent all the citizens of Manvel with the goal of preserving the best from our past while promoting growth that enhances and strengthens our future. With the projected population of 120,000 plus in Manvel in the next 20 years, the demands for funding this growth and managing it will be very challenging, to say the least. I will strive to maintain fiscal responsibility in an effort to protect our city's finances, control expenses, and maintain the current required cash reserves while maintaining our AA bond rating. I've always said, if there's landowners willing to sell and there's developers willing to buy, growth will happen. My goal is to provide direction and guidance for this growth. I will work with developers and future business owners to help provide an incentive for them to come to Manvel and a reason for existing businesses to stay and possibly help them with expansion. We are currently working with the Manvel Seafood, who we all love, and they are working on moving to a new location, building a $2 million facility, 5,000 square foot restaurant with 2,000 square foot events center to go along with it, and Manvel will work to help them make that goal. The revenue from these developments will be a major source of finance for this growth. To succeed in this effort, Council will have to continue to be flexible to changes and compromise where necessary. To enhance our efforts, MEDC and City Council are reviewing the possibility of hiring a Director of Development Services and a city planner to help Manvel move into the future. I'm Lou Shuffler.
I'm sorry to cut you off, buddy.
I'm Lou Shuffler, and thank you.
Well, let's give them all a round of applause. They did a great job. A few thank yous. First off to Manvel High School and Alvin ISD for allowing us to use this facility. We want to thank Alvin ISD for the video production that will be linked through social media, so make sure you identify that link and share it. Definitely want to thank the candidates for y'all's participation. It takes courage, and there's special people to serve. I appreciate it. Thank you, attendees, for being here tonight. Wouldn't be fun saying it to nobody, so I'm glad y'all came and care enough to hear. I think it's important. Early voting dates and locations, there's a handout on the table. Make sure you know those dates. The election day is May 7th. And take a voter guide home. If you already have one, grab another one and share it with a friend or family member. And every vote counts, and drive safe home. Thank you.